In this video, we'll build a small card model house that you can use for many purposes. It is one of many that we have you can find in the link below. To start this model, you get it in PDF form, or if you get it with one of our kits, it's printed form. In any case, what you're going to do is lay out the printed copy, and then you'll need a pair of scissors, a straight edge, and something with which to scribe. That can be either a scribing tool or a pen that no longer has ink in it. Before you start, make sure that you have a copy of the plan so that you can make more. You can make as many as you want of this. Just keep a copy. Now, we want to separate the plans. We're going to work with one sheet at a time. We're going to do some scoring. Make sure you only have one sheet out so you don't score through to the second one and ruin it. You look at your plan, you'll see little red marks, and at those red marks delineate where we're going to make folds on the paper. So we put the straight edge on those red marks, and then we scribe. Now, you can scribe with a pen. I prefer my chopstick with a sharpened nail in it. I use that for everything: gluing, marking, scratching, scoring, you name it. But you score a couple times. You want to score enough to where it comes through. Hey, forget the printing on the back. I use my paper twice. If it's scrap, I didn't print the other one in color, so I reprinted in color. But we go forward now, and we continually score. We'll go through the whole scoring process and then cut out. What I'm going to do now is speed this video up to 400% so that you're bored, and because I can't just talk that much, it's all the same thing over and over. I'm making this model in HO scale. If your fingers aren't that nimble, go ahead and print this out in 1:60 scale. It's a lot easier to work. At the same time, for the kids, if you're going to make this for the kids that they can play on the floor or make a kid's diorama, go ahead and print it in 1:60 scale. It'll make it much easier to score this thing. Once we get this thing scored, we're going to go ahead and cut it out. Now, when we cut it out, use your scissors. When you cut with scissors, don't snip. Open the scissors wide. That you get it down into the throat. You get a much straighter cut. It's much easier to control. So let's go forward and let's cut this thing out and get ready to fold it. That's kind of a slow process in a sense, but you do want to be careful. First I rough cut it so it's easier to handle. Then I cut along the tabs. Don't cut the tabs off. Fold them along those score lines. So you can see it's easy. The sharper the scissors, the better, but any scissors will do. Now, once we get it all cut out, we're going to fold it along those score lines. Nice and easy. If you've done a nice score, look how easy it folds. Now we're going to do this for all of the parts of the building. So I'll speed this video up again and we'll go forward. So we fold everything nicely, then we go on and score the rest of our model and cut everything out. Now that everything's cut out and folded, we're going to glue it. But before we glue, we have to clean up the edges. Notice the white marks on the edge where you scored. We want to color that. I color it with a piece of chalk. You can use crayon. Don't use a felt tip pen. A felt tip pen will bleed and ruin your model. You've kept the copy, you can do it again, but don't try it. So I use a chalk and cover the edges. While I'm at it, sure would appreciate if you subscribe. There's a little red thing down in the right corner bottom of the video here. please click on that and subscribe. We have a lot more on modeling and making dioramas, many other how-to things. I'd appreciate it very much if you subscribe now. And also, please share this. As we go forward now, we just go ahead, mark the edges, and now notice on the left side of the screen, there's a piece of masking tape and a coffee stick with some glue on it. I use a coffee stick to apply my glue, and I use the masking tape as a convenient place to put the glue. That way I'm not going back to the glue bottle all the time. So you'll see it as I do this. Hey, don't worry if you miss on the edges on those buildings, make some smudges. You can work that out later. It adds some weathering to the building. It makes it look nicer. One thing I didn't do here was I didn't put the chalk on the underside of the roof. People have a habit of looking up and seeing the white. So turn your roof over and put the chalk under the eaves. Now you'll just go forward, add the glue to the edges. Now the glue I'm using is pretty fast. You put it in place and it sticks. I call it a white instant glue. It's called Vitzel in Europe. You can also use paste glue, especially if you're working with the kids. Use the office stick, the stuff that comes in a stick. It's forgiving. You can move it and the kids can handle it. It's very easy. I do a lot of this, so I'm pretty good at making the match. I say that tongue in cheek, but I'm pretty good at making the match on these buildings when I glue them. So you go step by step, take it easy. This is an important process. People have the ability to see when something is not parallel. With these buildings, there's typically a little foundation. You line up on the foundation. That's the easy way. Also, note that you can make these with clear windows. We include clear film. You'll have to cut out the windows and put the clear film in the back, and then you can make your buildings lighted. That's kind of fun when you put these in a diorama. Also, you get these buildings individually, or you can get these buildings as kits for your dioramas. So this is what it looks like. Now what we're going to do is we got to glue the chimney. Now this is where it gets fiddly. Again, take your time. The glue dries clear, and this is where paste glue really comes in, because it's hard to get these things lined up. So we'll do the chimney, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to put the roof on. Notice the tabs that on the building at the bottom. We'll put glue on those tabs. Make sure the tabs are folded up some so that you get a good connection when you put the roof on it. So next step, we add the roof. That's a simple process. Let's go over here and put the roof on. All right, it's roof on time. As we fold the tabs on the bottom down, that helps us keep this thing straight. We want to make sure when that roof goes on, it's nice and straight. Take your time, fold your tabs up so that you can put the glue and they stick. Make sure that your walls are straight up and down. Take your coffee stick and you're going to apply glue to the edges. Nice and easy. Get all the pieces there. This roof, you want to make sure that roof sticks. You don't want to miss. So add a little extra glue. It won't hurt anything. Any extra glue will be under the eaves, and unless the people look up from the bottom, they won't see it. And even so, it'll clear. Here you see I got a little extra. I'll wipe it off with the finger. It'll be okay. We're not in competition with this. Most people won't see it. In fact, I won't even see it. I look at the stuff in the beginning, but after a while, when you come back, you really have to work hard to think about what you did. All right, so we have the glue on. Now we want to go ahead and get the roof in place. Let's take a step. I'm just going to show you how careful I am. This is a critical thing because we want that building square. We don't want to miss this. The roof really fixes it for us. Tabs on the bottom make a difference. Now, all you got to do is stick it on, and there you are. You got the roof. It's as simple as that. Look at that. Your house is square, your roof is on, and we'll just hold it, not very long, just a little bit, and it will stick. I'm just going to let you watch and see how long I hold it. And here we are. It's done. We got the roof. Now let's go ahead and put on the chimney. Chimney, you're going to paste extra glue up inside so the glue runs down. Again, you want to be careful with this because when you're going to put this particular roof on, it goes on the side of the roof. It's not something on the peak. If you slip, you'll get a little extra glue here and there. This is where I use the point on my chopstick and nail scoring tool. I'll go in there and after a little while and clean that extra glue up. But here it is. The chimney's in place. I'm going to let that chimney sit for a bit and then put on the cap. If you're working in 1:60, the larger scales, you might want to put that cap on a piece of card so it's thicker. For the smaller scales, I just use the cap as it is on the printed paper. And oh, by the way, I'm using 220 GSM paper. It's a thick paper that I originally printed on. I use that most of the time. I'd use thicker actually, but that's all my printer will handle. Most printers will handle somewhere around 200 GSM. If you get away with 220, give it a try. Now we put the roof cap on. Notice how fast that chimney set. It's nice. This is an easy building to make. Again, if your fingers aren't that nimble, you may want to do these things in 1:60. They make nice villages, and especially for floor play for the kids, do it in 1:60. Now, we have a building. That's all it is. It doesn't take long, and it's very easy. And remember, you botch something up, you cut it up, and do it again. And this is what the building looks like in 1:60 scale and HO scale. Hey, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. You can click on the subscribe button that you see at this end screen. Also below the video is a lot of more information on how to scenery, modeling, and much more. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you. Have a good day.